Okay, this video today is going to be about guaranteed SEO and whether or not it's possible to actually guarantee someone's rankings if they're offering a guaranteed SEO service. The answer to that question is yes, despite what everybody else in this whole SEO space is going to say. I'm going to explain why that is and how you could actually get it without getting screwed over, because you could actually get a guaranteed SEO service and still get screwed over, certainly. But the people that are saying it, I'm going to explain why these people are they're just basically stupid in my eyes. Oh, you could never ever guarantee any SEO results. Meanwhile, they want to get paid for doing a shitty ass service and saying that in the first place because they want to get by with hiring some shithead to do your SEO that they're paying basically nothing, and have you not complain if it doesn't work because you can't guarantee results. At the end of the day, every other service on the planet almost, you would not pay if you didn't get results. If you hired a plumber and they came over and they couldn't fix your sink, would you pay them as if they fixed your sink? Of course they have the service call and all that, but I'm saying charge you full price for fixing that sink, even though they couldn't fix it, and say, well, nobody can guarantee they can fix your sink. That's just how it is. It's bullshit, and this is why everybody hates SEO people, and you in general just don't trust what anybody has to say. And of course then, they naturally should want somebody to guarantee results. There's a way for every single company that offers SEO services to guarantee the results, like we guarantee results for our clients, not for SEO, but for online advertising / PPC, where we say if you don't get more sales than you have now, more than what we would need to charge you to make, at our firm what we normally charge, we don't charge you anything. Because there's so many shysters out there who won't guarantee anything. That's the only thing that we need to get hired. And we make it work by understanding risk and building that into the model of services that we offer. The SEO service guys could do the same thing, but they don't do it. And they could do it, and actually, there are some people actually doing it. I'm going to explain how and why and where you find these people, and also there's some alternatives that are even better than a so-called guaranteed SEO service that's going to be even more of a sure way to make money and less skin off your back up front, which some people are also offering. So anyway, I'm going to go through what your options are if you truly want somebody to guarantee services. And for that matter, if you got somebody who's willing to guarantee something, you know that person isn't bullshitting you. If they say they can't guarantee anything because SEO is never going to be guaranteed, Google changes all the time, there's no way you can guarantee anything, so that they don't have to actually tell you the truth about anything. When you ask them if you could rank, of course they're going to tell you yes. They want your damn money. They don't have to guarantee anything and can try to convince you, eat their bullshit about how nothing's guaranteed in SEO, then they don't have to provide you anything. And then, because the incentive always is, take your money, do as little damn work as possible so that their profit margin is as high as possible. If they convince you it can't be guaranteed, well, they just guaranteed that their margin's going to be fat as hell at that point in time. So it's really that simple. Whereas if you had them guarantee something, they have to price it appropriately, they have to tell you and negotiate with you appropriately. It totally flips the whole SEO bullshit model the way that it's been sold for years on its head. So anyway, with that said, I'll get into the content. So all the people who constantly are saying that you can't guarantee results to SEO results, including Google, by the way, it says anybody offering guaranteed SEO, it's a scam, which is really disingenuous because, respectively, how do they know somebody on the planet can't get guaranteed results? What if you found a loophole, in the algorithm where you could get results every time? Basically, I get the premise here since there's a lot of people who guarantee SEO results that are scammers, they just then paint everybody who says that they guarantee results with a huge, big, broad brush. And that's just the way that it is. So I understand why they're doing it, but it's just like being prejudiced on anything else. Sure, everybody in a certain group of people have this stereotype, but not all people. So it's not fair to treat everybody the same based upon what most people are doing itself. Well, furthermore, well, most people, these SEO services say they can't get results or guarantee results, including Google. They also, so I'll start off by saying you can't actually guarantee per se that you're going to rank on Google, because Google does change all the time. But what they'll also a lot of times say, the ones that particularly can't get very good results, don't have a good system, don't have a good service, they'll say you can't guarantee results or you don't pay either, because they don't control Google, which is really the silly part, because you certainly should only be charging people if you get them ranked on Google. Otherwise, you charge for a service that it did absolutely fucking nothing, which is a crime in my opinion. And they're saying they can't guarantee results on Google, so therefore they can't not charge you if they don't get results, when the reality is they could just simply only charge you if they got results, and that would be the fair way to do it. They would just have to charge enough to be able to do that, and I'll explain that here in a minute. So while a good SEO or SEO service can't 100% guarantee results every single time, they're going to miss the mark sometimes. That part is true about SEO services can't be guaranteed. Anybody could only charge if they rank you. That part anybody could do, and that's just common sense. The people who say they can't not charge you if they don't rank you because things change on Google they're not as stupid as they're just simply being disingenuous. They know that they could just not charge you unless you got results and ranked on Google. They just don't want to fucking do it. Simply put, bottom line. Why do I know this? Because there's services out there who actually only charge if you get ranked. It's called pay for performance SEO services. You can go ahead and Google that. There's quite a few companies out there doing it. They don't label it guaranteed SEO, and they don't say they don't guarantee anything, but at least they do the decent thing that all these damn SEO companies should be doing, which is only charge you if you rank. So anyone can find the probability of being able to rank and then simply build that into their price in order to do this pay for performance only SEO model, where you only pay if you get ranked on Google. Now you got to know your numbers to be able to do this. But to give you an example, as an SEO company, you could simply find out what percentage of the time you're able to rank a client and which percentage of the time you generally don't over the last, like, let's say 50 clients that you've had, right? You find out that there's a 50% success rate. So you're charging $1,000 a month for SEO services right now. You find out that you have a 50% success rate on average with your clients actually getting them ranked. Charge $2,000 a month. That way, the people who don't pay for the ones who do pay. And then for the clients who don't like as much risk, they could pay for a more expensive service that has insurance built into the model. Because you can't, it's silly to ask somebody who can't actually guarantee it's going to work every time itself to charge what people who aren't guaranteeing shit are charging. Which, by the way, at our PPC firm, that's the way people think it should be. They want their cake and they eat it too. They want to pay $500 a month for PPC services, and they want them guaranteed. Well, the guy charging $500 a month, he's fucking ripping you off. So you can't listen to what he's saying the price should be, because that was never priced that way to ever have it work for you in the first place. It was always a hustle. It was always, let's find a price that the client we know that is a cheap ass, wants to hear, give it to them, and then let's do almost nothing. So at the end of the 6 months, when they are finally fed up with no results, they leave, and we could take the full $3,000 we collected from them over the first 6 months to find another client, and then do the same thing to him and do it over and over and over, churn and burn, churn and burn, churn and burn. That's the entire model for these cheap ass PPC and SEO services. So I came in and just realized what to do, which was charge a shitload more money. Clients that want something that's guaranteed, they'll pay for it. It's really that simple. But no, I'm not gonna charge with the guys who can't even get results charged and then say it's guaranteed. Like they just don't know what's going on. So I can't blame them per se, because I'm in the industry, I know what's going on. I know what these guys are doing and not doing. But that's, anyway, very simply put here, how all SEO companies could guarantee their service, at least guarantee that you don't have to pay unless you get results. So in terms of knowing what you should pay to have guaranteed results, it's actually really simple as well, but you have to do it. You got to find out, if you're an e-commerce business, what your cost of goods are, i.e. your cost of your products, and your basic hard fixed expenses, and find out how many dollars of sales you need for every dollar of marketing expense. Once you find that out, then you could go find the keywords you want ranked for, and then estimate how many clicks per month you're going to get from each keyword if you rank number 1, which you'll get 10% click-through on each keyword that you rank number 1 for. And you could find how many searches per month that there is using the Google Keyword Tool or SEMrush or something like that, which it's not real accurate, but at least you're going to try to do as much homework as you can for yourself up front. And ultimately, you can just figure out, okay, if I get ranked for this keyword, I should get this many clicks. And my current site right now gets a 3% conversion rate, so I should be able to get 3% of those clicks to turn into a sale, which means I'll get this many sales, and then that means that many sales will be this much revenue. And of that revenue, I could pay $5, or I could pay $1 for every dollar, or every $5 of revenue that I'm generating. So this keyword rank number 1 would generate me 30 grand a month in sales. I know already that I could pay, sorry, my math screwed up here. Let's just say it was 50,000 in sales. I could pay 10,000 a month to maintain that ranking for that keyword. Now you're in position, when you go to these pay-for-performance SEO companies, of knowing exactly what you could pay to get that keyword ranked. And then what I would recommend you do is go to like 10 different pay-for-performance SEO companies. Make them earn your business. Say, this is the keyword I want to rank for, knowing in your head that as long as they're not charging you more than 10 grand a month to get that keyword ranked, you're making money enough to cover your expenses and have profit margin left over, and you'll pay that all day long. And in the case, like I said, you could pay $10,000 a month to have this keyword ranked. See if they'll give you a quote on that, getting that keyword ranked for $10,000 a month or less. And that's simply how it's done. Now, some of these pay-for-performance SEO companies are going to charge you before you're ranked, and then if they don't get you ranked in a certain minimum amount of time, they'll give you your money back. But you have to be very careful about doing that. You got to check into who you're dealing with, as you may not get your money back, because if they're a scam company, it'd be really easy to promise you that get in the switch your company name in 3 years after you got a bunch of bad reviews. It'd be a slick scam, and people are doing that. So a much better offer is you don't have to pay shit until you're ranked, and then you've got a contract in place where you're paying X dollar per month to maintain that ranking that's on the first page for however long that you're ranked, basically. So that when you know you're on the first page, you're going to be making 10 grand a month. Once you hit the first page, you're right away having a card that's being charged 10 grand a month. but it's okay because you know those sales will be there. That's the position you want to be in, not paying beforehand and then hopefully not getting your money back after 12 months of not getting ranked, and oh shit, they're not refunding my 25 grand and I got to sue them and it's not worth it to sue them and what have you there. So that would be something I would ultimately say as well. So basically you want to be able to try to pay after you got the results. But the way that we do it at our PPC firm, it's just like that. We started asking for a small deposit from people up front. Small is relative, but we asked for a small deposit. But basically, if we say we can get you $5,000 a month more in sales on your current ad spend at our PPC agency, and you don't pay until you get it, you're not paying unless you get it. And then once we already get you those results, that's the time you start paying. Not let's charge you money until we get it and make people wonder if they're even going to get their money back or not. Not to mention you're paying into a system that if it takes a year for you to get ranked, going back to the SEO thing, all that money is not able to be put to work elsewhere. So it's dead money for a year, if you will. There's an opportunity cost there. So, but we have a contract set up. It's literally set up. Okay, you'll pay $4,000 a month if we can get you an additional $25,000 a month in sales on your current ad spend. Okay, let's put it on the contract. Current ad spend, we'll maintain it. We can increase your sales $25,000 a month immediately at that point. The card that you give us up front, that's going to be docked $4,000 a month immediately for every month for at least the next 12 months. You don't even have an option to have it not happen. So you tell me the results you want, I'll get them, and we'll have a pre-agreed price that you're paying once those results are already in. That's what the pay-for-performance SEO company should be doing for you if they also know that they're getting results. And don't tell me you guys that are offering, you can't do it, because again, you guys could just raise your price enough to offset the times that you're not getting results. Just find out how often you're not getting results and raise your price to that point. Ultimately, you can raise more than that because so few companies are willing to guarantee anything that you could charge a premium for having a guaranteed service. So anyway, better to pay after you got the results already if you can do it. But if you only could pay and then had a guarantee to get your money back, that would still be a hell of a lot better than a firm that guarantees nothing. The other thing, by the way, people say that, oh, you can't guarantee results and you shouldn't go with a guaranteed results firm, is they might try all these shady tactics. They're all doing shady tactics anyway. What SEO company is following all Google's rules? Google's rules are you can't do shit for SEO. So you're not, holier than thou by saying you're doing it a different way and therefore it makes you somehow better. Everybody's buying links, period. So, and they're not buying them from Forbes and all these authority websites because it would be too damn expensive. They would have to charge you. Maybe the ones that charge $25,000 a month are, but the ones that are charging $5,000 a month, they're not buying links from authority websites. I'm sorry, they're not doing it. They're buying them from shitty websites. That's basically it. The more you spend, the more they have the capability to spend them on real authority websites, but that shit's expensive. And they got to mark the cost up of their links up 3 times, and you got to have a certain amount of links to even have it work. So $5,000 a month would be like the minimum cutoff, I would say, for real links. But anyway, long story short, they're still buying links. You're still not supposed to do it. If it's going to work, you're going to have to break Google Webmaster rules. And, so for that matter, I just think that whole argument's kind of stupid. And most of the SEO companies won't even tell you where they're putting your links at. Because you ask them, they won't say. They'll say it's our competitive advantage, knowing where the places we're putting your links for the most part, unless you're paying $5 figures a month or something like that. So when they're telling you that, they're putting them in shady places anyway. Anyway, with that said, a much better option for even going with these pay-for-performance SEO companies is to partner with a marketing firm / SEO agency and pay them a percentage of all the sales that you generate at your company. Yes, your company, not that are trackable through SEO. Because the reason why people won't usually do SEO on, like pay me on the sales you get from SEO, is because it's too hard to track sales that come in from SEO. Yes, Google Analytics can kind of tell you how much traffic and sales you get from SEO traffic, but it's so, it undercounts it by such a large amount that people aren't going to be willing to do it by itself. Google Ads, SEO, it all undercounts by a half to 2/3 of the real sales that come in from those channels. Why? Because a lot of people don't buy on the first visit. They come back and, a certain amount of time later, and it's going to be picked up as coming from another source many times. And so if I'm going to only get paid on sales that say they come from SEO, I'm really only getting paid for 1/3 of the sales that are really generated from my efforts doing the SEO. So it's only fair, just cut out all the bullshit, basically, and just make them a bona fide partner of your company and pay them out a percentage of the sales at your company and say, if you do SEO for my company, I will pay you 1% of the total gross of our company's revenue, in addition to the revenue that I'm generating currently in perpetuity. So if you're generating $100,000 a month in sales right now, you're unable to get more than that. You bring the SEO company and say, every dollar of revenue we get over $100,000 a month, I'll give you 1% of it itself. And the good companies that are worth a shit will take that offer. Why will they take that offer? Because the good companies who really know what they're doing and can get results will know they can make more money off of the relationship with you taking that deal than they can get from SEO services. And the reason for that is because most SEO clients only stay for a couple of years on average, even if you're doing really good. Why? Because that's just how the marketing space is. You're going to stay till you get some good results, and then you're probably going to quit. And everybody doubts me when they say that. I could tell you, people get results, and then they think, oh, I could get this done cheaper somewhere else because they laid the groundwork. I don't have to pay this company the $5,000 a month anymore, or bring it in-house or whatever. And that's just the way it is. So when you say that you're going to lock them in at 1% forever, if that 1% over the next 15 years, assuming you believe in that company being around for 15 years, that's going to be some big money. And the reason for that specifically is because the main money is going to come in not the first year, but years 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Once you've built up some good momentum, you'll get to a point 5 years down the line where you're not going back to my previous example where you're making $100,000 a month. Now you're making $500,000 a month, and they're getting 1% of that, which is $4,000 a month that they're locked into. That you can't just, screw them out of by firing them and then going to a cheaper agency later because you think you want to save some money. So I would recommend that option versus the pay-for-performance SEO stuff. Or should I say, if you can't get the pay-for-performance SEO agency to let you pay them once you're ranked already versus having to pay them up front and then if they can't rank, hope they give you your money back that you paid, I would just go with find an SEO company that will accept a percentage of your sales growth over time. Because that'll cut out all the bullshit. You'll know right away how good somebody is at SEO if they'll say yes to that offer or not. I do it at my PPC agency itself. I've done several deals like that now, and they are fantastic because I know I can get results. Clients usually only stay a couple of years because they don't want to pay the big fees forever. And I get locked in for future results. And after a couple of years, that's when the results of the company really start getting good. And then now I get a piece of all that future sales indefinitely. And it actually gets easier to do PPC over time because the groundwork's laid. So it's actually making me more money while I'm doing less and less work over time because there's less to do. Not that I don't want more sales, but there's just less to do. So anyway, I'm seeking long-term to only be working on a percentage because I make way more money that way. And the SEO companies, if they know what they're doing, it's the same thing. It's not just unique to me. You just know you're going to make more money that way if you can get results basically almost every time. Instead of the company you work for making all the money, you're both making money in that case. If you provide a paid monthly service and it actually works most of the time, the company makes most of the money, you make almost nothing in terms of the contractor or service company. So that's, anyway, it's a fantastic tool to find out who knows what they're doing and who doesn't. And yes, a lot of people can't get by. Oh, I don't want to pay 1% of my sales forever to this company. Well, you're going to get somebody who's going to barely try in that case, in most of the cases. Because obviously, like I was saying before, the more they try, the less margin they make. So you're going to hire a company who wants to try as little as possible to make as much as they can. And if they don't know what they're doing, they're going to try almost nothing because they know they're going to get fired. And their goal is to capture as much revenue from you as they can during that time. That's going to be pocket as much of that as they can because they know you're going to quit anyway. So you get it while you can. And you're going to take that whole thing and flip it completely on its head. And yes, you're paying more, but you got somebody who knows they're going to make a fortune, so they're going to make you their number one priority at their firm. Because they know once they finally get this shit to work for you, they're going to make, with you, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars long term over the next 10, 15 years. Once it's up and going and it works. So, therefore, partnering with the company that you want to work for and giving them a percent is the recommended way that I would go. So a lot of companies won't do it that are still technically good. They're usually bigger companies. You find a guy who really knows what they're doing that's at a smaller agency, they'll take this percentage deal if you got a good product or service, which is my final point that I want to make here. Not only will you find somebody who actually knows what they're doing this way because it'll vet out all the bullshit, it'll also make sure that your idea of what you're selling or product what you're selling, service what you're selling is actually worth the shit to begin with. Because even if I know what I'm doing, I'm not going to market a dog turd. I've got other people to work with. People that know what they're doing can pick and choose who they're working with. I'm not going to take 1% of the sales on a dog turd. You can keep your dog turd. I don't want it. You got a good product that I know will sell. I'll take that deal every single time. So it vets the SEO company and it vets your company to see if you actually have something worth selling. Because obviously the SEO company that doesn't guarantee results, they'll just tell you your dog turd should be polished up and put on display for everybody to buy. And then when you eventually figure out what you have really is a dog turd, they've already got all their money, they've moved on to somebody else. They'll tell you what you want to hear. So that also puts truth going back on you, on what you have to offer. And if you can't find anybody to take you up on a percent deal like this, the problem is probably you, not because the market won't do it. Because I'm telling you, if you have a good product or service, somebody will take a percentage deal like that. They just will. So anyway, with that all said, guaranteed SEO. You could pay what you get rankings. That exists out there. Or pay and then get your money back if you don't rank at the very least. And SEO companies that will rank your company and just take a percentage of your sales growth, which is another better way of actually working with SEO companies if you can do it. If you can pay 1% to the best SEO company that runs a small agency that you can, I would recommend somebody who has an agency still, because people with an agency, they have experience working with lots of different other companies, and that experience gets applied to what you have versus an individual who don't have all that experience. Do it with an SEO company, do it with a PPC company. So you're paying out 2%, but you don't have to pay anything up front, and they'll be working their ass off to get you as many sales. So yes, your margins are going to be maybe 25% less than what they were, paying that 2% out or whatever. But you're going to make 10 times plus more money long term because you got people that are spending as much time as they need to and can to make your company a success. And for the person, so you got to get past the greed and the selfishness of not wanting everybody else to make money when you're making money, because where you make lots of money, other people are making lots of money. That's the way you got to go, particularly for marketing people, especially because marketing people, good marketers that are actually good, are rare, and they get to pick and choose what they're working on. So you have to stand out as a company to make sure you're getting taken serious about them. But so you have to take yourself seriously if you're going to get other people to take you seriously out there. So anyway, that is how you be successful, get not just a little bit of results online, but a lot of results. Taking a less margin for yourself, sharing more, but getting way more on the upside by finding a company that will actually try on your stuff and have somebody who can work with anybody, even if you hired that guy who can get results. Instead of being, one of many clients, you could be the top client of the top person by giving them the percentage deal that's going to make them excited to work on your stuff, and then you don't have to worry about, is the SEO company trying? Am I going to get results? You'll know you'll get results at that point in time. So it'll take a while to really get to have the less margin now you're making because you're giving a percentage out to pay off. But when it pays off, it'll pay off big. Anyway, I'll wrap it up with that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I have a lot of other videos on this channel about other PPC strategies that will make you a ton of money with your PPC. So this is primarily a PPC channel, even though I've talked on SEO here. But I wanted to make a video about this topic as well. If you have any questions about anything here, guaranteed SEO, tips on how to hire guaranteed SEO, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a comment on this channel. If you like the video, I'd appreciate it if you give it a like. As a final note, if you're looking for somebody to get you more sales results on any online advertising campaign you're running, I will be willing to work on it for free until you get enough results to pay for our agency fees, if you're a client that we want to work with here. But one way to find out that if we can work together is to reach out to my agency at guaranteedppc.com, and I'll look over your stuff and let you know how much sales results I can get you and in what time frame, and then what we would charge once you got those results. And if you have something good enough, like I said on this video here today, I'll take a percentage of your sales growth and I'll just do all the PPC for free. We don't obviously also do that for everybody, but I'd love to hear from you if you think you got a good company that all it takes is somebody to just take the PPC and run with it that you have, or online ads that you're running that you have, and I'll see how much results I can get for you. But the estimates of results are all free, so be happy to hear from you. So just reach out and I'll be happy to look over your stuff. I'll wrap it up with that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you on my next video where we have another great strategy for you then. See you then.